Have you ever like been or experienced a situation where you would kind of describe it as a beautiful mess? It's like you ever feel like you're going through the motions over and over again, or you do the same thing over and over again, then you come away from it, you come back to it, but you appreciate it a lot more. I think that's part of finding the beauty in a mess, kind of looking at the fine details of something that can be monotonous or so ritualistic, but then you realize kind of the tiny nuances, the beauty in just the system.
If it's one way to put it, like it's I usually see it in life where people you can see just how they act just with one interaction, and then as you get to know them, or if you're kind of in a situation where you're stuck with them, you can kind of see where they're gonna go in life. And I've seen that happen so many times where it's like you see where they're gonna go, and at first it was hurtful because you have to see people suffer or something. It's like I wouldn't make that mistake, or and then they just still do it again and again, and it's like I try to find to where it's like don't stress the things that you can't control because you can't control it. You'll end up stressing yourself out more. So one of the hardest things was like when my dad passed and I had to see all that, like the person I looked up to who I thought was the strongest to be at a weak point. And it's like, you know, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep being strong and doing that because I find the beauty in that because there's certain things you just can't control. I went to work the next day. I kept working. I said, I'm going to keep doing all these good things in life to keep moving forward because when something like that happens where it's chaos and then you're losing sleep and then you you just got to keep pushing forward. And then I found out like once you keep going through it and doing it again and again and again, you end up just kind of picking up good routines and stuff like that. So, and I take the things that my grandpa said. He's like, if you like it, it's good. If it's not, then don't do it. It's simple as like that. It's like a yes, no, yes, no. If you make a mistake, just pick back up. Don't make the same mistake. Do it again. Keep keep going for your goals and stuff. So that's something that keeps me moving forward. But that's how I kind of like strive in chaos. It's like there's things you can't control. There's things that happen in the world you can't control. But if you, as long as you have like a healthy habit, healthy passion, healthy hobby to keep you focused, because we're all spawned in this world, and as a game, like you just got to figure it out. There's not really.
First time, man. Finding the beauty in chaos in the way that I found it most of the time that I've seen is having the calmness while within it. A lot of people miss that opportunity to actually feel and learn from the experience of chaos, and just that's why it becomes so much repetitive. Is that we don't want to feel or learn through that, and no lie to you, you got to be able to accept the chaos as well. There's those things you can't control, yeah, and I most certainly don't like it when I'm not in control of anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if maybe it's just me, that masculinity in me, or me knowing that everything I do, I've done, I have. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably what it was, or could have been. But I'll also having that openness and moving forward towards that too. People miss that opportunity by not doing so. You know, um, and that's with anything.
When I'm coaching or even like teaching PE, there's like a teaching style that's called controlled chaos, where it's like if somebody walks in and doesn't know what's going on, it looks like, oh, there's stuff going everywhere, things happening everywhere, there's no control. But to the teacher, they have every little thing handled and they want everybody to stop. They have to say one word because everybody knows the rules. It's like you can do this, this, and this, but can't do that. And it's interesting because I enjoy teaching that way because it lets everybody learn in their own way and then also pauses right away.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to what Jake was talking about after my dad passed, I remember something he always said because he was a pastor. He said the breakthrough point is just a little past the breakdown point. And it's like going through life, I realized that there's been many points where I was ready to just be like, this is not worth it. I want to give up. But then I remembered, I'm like, if I'm at this point where I'm ready to give up, if I just keep going, then I get to go into that next level or that relief, reach the goal I was striving for. Just if I keep pushing, and every time that's what I found was like when you're that close to breaking down, that means you're just so that means you're even closer to getting the breakthrough you've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've never heard it put that way. That's amazing. It's amazing.
It's like I like it a little more than the when you're at rock bottom. The only thing left is up because in my head, the picture of you being at this giant bottom of this endless hole, looking up, being like, I gotta climb back up, doesn't always sit right. But if you think you just mining and everything hurt, you're tired. But you know, right when I get the most tired, if I go a little bit longer, I'm gonna find the diamonds.
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that visual a lot better.
Okay.
But
I definitely this reminds me of a quote that I forget who it's by, you know what I mean? I believe it's in a book that I had read, and he says you're able to move mountains as a man, but you must start as a pebble. You must first start with a pebble. You know what I mean?
mm,
And I don't really grasp it like that, you know. But it's the little things, most certainly, that we miss. We miss every single time and every single moment that we want to share and give to the other individuals. We miss those small moments that lead up to that, you know.
sometimes looking back, I just think of all the stuff I've achieved, and I wonder if like me 10 years ago that said I wanted to be in the seat I'm sitting in now would have thought I would have actually done it, or was it just like a something you say and then you're like, let's see what happens.
You know, that's where the calamity and the chaos comes in. It's because when you find that, yeah, you can only find that within yourself. Absolutely. You know, if you're always waiting for somebody else to hand you happiness, you'll never be happy. You got to find it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly when it comes to the chaos. You know, and acceptance. I was just talking to my nephew earlier today about uh, not necessarily change per se. You know what I mean? But I guess it involves change a little bit. You know, because if you apologize to someone, right? The last thing that you should be doing is the same exact thing that you just apologized for. So apologies deserve change. That's
Mhm.
why it's what from my understanding.
Yeah, I tell my students all the time, I'm like, sorry doesn't change actions.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And as well, if you're thankful, you know what I mean? 9 times out of 10 you want to show that person appreciation. If you're thankful, show appreciation. In any type of way and format that you possibly can. That's the only way you're going to be able to progress. And on a calamity and the chaos is when you can accept that.
Yeah, and I believe that we should always, it's hard, but you want to try to be honest with yourself,
Man,
because I feel like a lot of people just they talk a lot, but it's when you actually do something that's actually going to make the change that happens. You got to actually do it, and understand that there's certain situations that it can be tricky if you're stuck somewhere or something that happens that's unfortunate, but you know, one quote that I've always liked is start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Because that's really all you can do is just pick up something and use it to your advantages in some sort of way. So, but then, it's hard at first, but once you actually do something, like if you want to quit a habit or if you want to make a change or something, you actually got to take the steps to actually physically do it. Even like writing it down, because that's one thing that I've always learned was once you write it down, I tell people that your brain can only hold so much information, and then they say, I can hold it in my head. I can think about it. It's like, I mean, you got it, but once you write it down and it's in paper, it's an actual physical thing that you can
absolutely.
see and put it up somewhere, look at it, and then once you get it, check it off the list.
Mm-hmm. It's not something that happens easily. I stopped asking for patience a long time ago. Let me tell you something.
Careful what you wish for,
I'm
because
trying to
because
tell
you
you.
might get
Because
it.
you
Oh
might
my
get it.
goodness. Yeah, I stopped asking for patience a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's power in words, power in actions. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Who are your dreams growing up?
A Star Club brand called Quintessential.
Get the fuck out of here. I actually,
Nah, serious answer. For a little bit, it was NBA, right? Because my two brothers play basketball. I just wanted to beat them, and I ended up being better than them, going farther than they did. And then I remember my freshman year, speaking of yearbooks earlier, the best girls basketball player, one of my friends at the time, signed my yearbook, and she asked me a question that kind of that I think I remember it because it was such a pivotal moment in kind of me becoming who I am. She asked, "Do you do anything other than basketball?" And then I thought about it, And I'm like, you know what? I don't. And that's when I started doing art right after that. And it's funny because a lot of, you'll see even NBA players, like especially rookies that have been playing basketball their entire life, and they get hurt. And now they're just depressed and don't know what to do because they have no other outlet. Their whole life was just one thing. They had no other expression. Like Jake says all the time, you got to find something that doesn't end. No matter what situation I am in or where I'm at, I can always create something. I can always draw something. I can always dream of something.
Mm-hmm.
And having that outlet for everything I'm feeling, like if I'm mad at something, I can take it out and create something.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm happy, I can share that happiness by creating something. So finding that outlet early on was really what pushed me forward. So now the dream I had going forward after seeing what I saw is like I just want to have impact. And
Mm-hmm.
more and more I'm seeing that that's exactly what I'm currently doing. So what about you, Pat? So
My honest dream growing up was to pay for everything that my mother has and owns. That's what an honest dream that I have. Successful? No. She happy? She happy as long as I'm happy. That's my mama, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's a dream that I had growing up. That's the only thing that I can really think about, honestly. Even long ago, my mama said, "Hey, look, 99 years old, take me." She said, "That's what she said." She said, "99 years old, take me." I'm gonna be. She's like, "Don't worry, I'm be here till 99 years old." You know what I'm saying? My oldest sister's 45. You know what I'm saying? She'll be here till 99 years old. She wants to go past. She wants to. I'm like, I agree. Peace. I can't blame her. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I would hate for her child to leave before her. You know what I mean? Straight up. So I want everything for her. That is a dream. Yeah.
What about you, Jake?
I wanted to be a pilot. Like dead ass, I wanted to be a pilot. Like I was destined to be a pilot. Like until I went into that plane that he had. It was like a small, little prop plane. And my dad took me there to just to kind of see it, to see if So we go up, and then this man basically is like, "Who wants to see a pen fly?" I'm like, "I know what this is. It's gonna be zero G." So basically, you are falling because you're at 0 Gs. and so I didn't really know about like what that meant, but I was like, "Yeah, I know exactly what we can do. Let's do it." And this man goes, like I'm like, you see the ground. Like he has the plane pointed at the ground, straight at the ground. Yep. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah, I said, fuck that."
It was fun though, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what if he just had a bad day? I mean, what if
Oh, you know my thing? I feel like if I learned what I was doing, I would have no problem with me doing that, staring death in the face when I have the reins and I'm in control.
Okay.
But when I'm in a plane and somebody else is in control, that's a different story.
I wanted to do a clothing line, and then like coming out of high school and stuff, like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was interested in music and stuff, and the lyrics and the writing and stuff. So I started with lyrics. Then I was like, what if I just make beats? I was like, oh, then I can just put the two together. Then that's how that can work out. And then, but I didn't know how to do that yet. So I went to sleep. Had a dream that I was like making beats and doing stuff, and like on stage, like I saw myself like on a TV camera, like how they would on the news and stuff. And then like I woke up, and then I was like, let me just look up something. I found a free beat software, and then progressed from there to another software to, at least, just making music and just having fun with it. I think the farthest we gotten on, it was like a poetry slam, wasn't that? And that was our first little thing we did in front of a crowd and stuff. It's a start though.
Absolutely.
So, and then now we actually have a clothing line. And then we met in college, and then we kind of, it's kind of cool because you meet someone you don't really, you walk past them, or you don't know what the future holds, and then it's like once you find two people with good ideas and you put them together, and then it can
take two strangers.
Give
my soul.
Because I remember seeing him before, and it was just it was just basketball and stuff. So then
that's not right. That's not right.
Talked a little bit.
Is he all right? Can he ball? I mean, be for real.
Yeah, he can hoop.
He can hoop.
He ain't guarding that bow-legged fade.
He got a nice fade though. It's cold. It's cold. Nice fade,
well, it's funny because you taught me basketball a little bit more, and then you taught me basketball, like honed in on the skills and stuff. So both of you actually taught me basketball.
Yeah, he good though. He could, not it? Yeah, like.
You remember because I didn't play basketball.
You didn't at all. I remember that.
Nah, I was really giving free workouts to people in college. Should have been charged for the knowledge I was dropping.
Yeah,
and then we started like recording something, didn't we? Or
yeah, because it was you, me, and Trey back on the podcast called Vibe Check. But then I realized I'm like, you know what? It was a great conversation, and then it went hard left, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we need to make some adjustments. And then it was Vibe Check for a while. My homie Colby, that I knew for a hot minute, met him in college under like just. I was in classes with him, like almost every class, and then he had a really good perspective and a different perspective from what me and Jake had. So we started doing more vibe check stuff, and I was moved out, so we were doing it out the apartment, and then eventually I was like, Jake has a pseudonym, I have a pseudonym, you need one too, and then I'm like, what about Quintessential? Well, let's spell it weird, and then like same day I'm like, you know what? That's actually a really really good name. I'm like, you stay Colby. Let's call the podcast Quintessential, and the rest is history. I mean, there's a bunch of details beforehand because I started making our homie Will had an idea. He's a big Kanye fan, so Will was already producing. He's already rapping. He dropped a tape. He's like, he wanted to do clothing too. So then we started learning. We started heat pressing. It's like, you wash it 3 times and the whole shirt destroyed. So what else can we do? And I'm like, I want to learn how to screen print. So I started learning how to screen print. So I will, and I started to make my own stuff.
Bought like something on Facebook Market or something.
Yeah.
With the other equipment
but
and stuff.
That's another example of trial and error because that shit did not work.
Right.
And I was like,
burning
I'm wasting
everywhere.
Money over and over again. And I found like that first shirt that was successful. I'm like, I got it. I understand it now. And then after that, I remember me and Will, we went to his homie Jordan's show. We were watching. It's like, how do I get a pop-up like this person has? And Will's like, how do I get on stage? And we're like, you know what? Next year this time, I'm gonna be selling clothes, and he's gonna be on the stage performing. And less than a year later, that's exactly where we were at. And I was thinking about, I'm like, dang, it's crazy. We said we are gonna do something, we just started working towards it. Next thing you know, it just happened. And it was show after show after show. I was back and forth everywhere, and then I realized, I'm like, is this really what I want to do? I'm like, I can sell you a shirt, but if you don't know if you can't even read the words on it, it don't mean nothing to you. So I was like, why do people wear a Nike hoodie with just check on it? Because you see Nike and you know the mentality they preach, just do it. So I wanted something that spoke to people like Nike did. So that's when we started Quintessential. And I'm like, instead of going pop up to pop up and hoping another random person likes my designs, I'm like, I want you to hear the word Quintessential, and the thing is you think of us. But what do you think when you think of us? These videos like this, where we sit down and talk about real things that people don't always want to talk about. We spend time researching topics that you don't really delve into, like creativity was the first big one, and we got other ones we got planned. Big one I'm working on now is perfection. And it's just like, it's something universally understood, but also universally, it's as strived for as it is hated.
Yes, it is.
Which is what makes it a paradox. So that's why I'm calling it paradox of perfection. Because you hear practice makes perfect, but then you also hear no one's perfect.
It's like money. Money's real value. Everybody wants money. Man, you know, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I did a little time, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that a little bit, you know what I mean?
Perfectly fine with me.
Out in California, man, and I met some great people, great individuals behind those walls. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I met some people that deserve to be behind the walls. You know what I'm saying? So I got a mix of all of that, and I enjoyed each and every presence and every moment of it. You know what I'm saying? And a good way that we did find beauty within it was in the community with each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, you they threw me in an active dorm when I first went out there. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody that knows what I'm talking about, that's what it is. You know, and I was talking about it was Bloods at the top, and they only let us out in the forest. You know what I'm saying? So we had like two or three cells depending on the day room they had. 4 day rooms each, you know, and so 6 people or 4 people out at a time on the phone for 2 phones. You know what I'm saying that they have. One phone didn't work obviously, so so that's how that went. But it's okay though. You know, we found the beauty in it by coming together. You know what I mean? Dude gave me soups. You know what I mean? Looking out for each other, you know, working out together, you know, such as we just saying basketball and whatnot, man. That's how we were able to do that, you know, and being treated, you know, less than is nothing I feel like a human should go through, you know. So not only are you trying to find calamity and beauty in your chaos, but you're also trying to make something beautiful for somebody else, and it's just and you find everything comes together whenever you guys have the right mindset to do so, you know? Problems included. Like if there's things that needs to be talked about, go ahead and do that. Get that done. You know what I mean? Whether it involves as a man fighting or it involves actually having a conversation about it, you know? For some
That's something I
individuals.
respect a lot about Jake and like people I really keep close to me. I'm like, if I'm doing something out of pocket or if I'm like doing something that's not like me, I know I got people around me that's gonna call me out on it.
Thank you.
And I know I'm gonna do the same thing for them. If you're going down the wrong path, I'm gonna say something because you're not a real friend if you watch somebody falling and you don't at least and you don't reach out and try to pull them up. But
I tried before, you know, with some people, and then they just don't want to help themselves. Like you can, what's that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you
can't
can't.
make it drink.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
So it's just
Tell me
like
something.
you just gotta, you know, that's where you gotta find strength in like your things that you can help cope with in healthy ways. That like good hobbies, some that doesn't end, and some because people are in. I think it's like routines. You know, everyone has their routine, and once you get to change, that's where people can get stressed out if they're not good at adapting to change. So that affects their moods and everything like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know once you can like you know balance things out in life in a healthy way and just you know write it down and keep track of that. I feel like
Absolutely.
it helps you through a lot.
Absolutely.
And just take the steps. You know, that's just something I kind of had to learn out of high school and just go out in the world, test something out, figure it out.
Something I learned early on teaching was a speech the principal gave, and it pretty much ended with like it was a video of eagles, and it ended before you got to see like the new eagles hatch and fly, and the video ended. He looked at the whole group of teachers. He was like, "You don't always get to see them fly." I think that was a big lesson for me. It's like you can put all this effort into it, but even if they don't get it now, it doesn't mean they're not going to hear what you said. They still have the chance to fly later on. And unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. I've seen some of the people you work on all the time doing really well right now, and others. I just found out one of the kids uh, drive by, and now he's locked up. And you sitting there like he has so much potential, but I'm like, potential don't really mean much if you don't do anything with it.
Absolutely. You know, I met a dude named Big Bo. Big guy. You know what I'm saying? His name wasn't even Bo. You know what I'm saying? I was the original Bo, Big Bo. You feel me? And I was like, bro, you're not Big Bo, you little Bo. I'm the real Bo. You feel me? His name was Damian Austin. Played for Fresno State. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. He was celibate. You know what I mean? This is how he talk country boy from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Carolina Brazzy. You know what I'm saying? It's like talk. He'd be like, well, here you go. Here you go. But let me tell you, God gives you gifts. You know what I'm saying? And he don't like it. You don't use your gifts. God will spite you just because of the blessings that you are not accepting that he's giving you. It's not the spite you think. He's just going to ignore you. Make you sit down a little bit. You bet your ass listen now, dang. And that's how he talk to me. Big Bo, Damian Austin. Good dude. Good dude. You know what I'm saying?
I was like asking, I guess, the same couple of like closing questions. I asked if you could go back, what advice would you give your childhood self?
Oh, man. Off top, if I could go back, I would tell him to invest in the Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
For starters, that's number one. Now, the next thing I would tell him to do, right? Put a smile on your face, dog. Because sometimes he was tripping. And I noticed that. I wish I would have paid attention to it then, but put a smile on your face, man. You got to find happiness within yourself, not for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell him that for sure.
Do you have any closing words?
Closing words? Hey, be true to yourself. You can't be true to yourself. You're going to lie to everybody else for sure. That's simple.
Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for checking the vibe with us. And as always, keep it quintessential.